move on to our second match. So one land hand, not something we want. Ooh, okay, so this is actually pretty bad. I mean, we have lands, but again, we have no plays at all, unless we draw into something, which we don't have a guarantee of doing. We don't have a treasure map to scry either, so I think we're gonna have to mold a 5. Okay, this at least has a chance. Don't want to dive down. Blue green, very interesting. Probably a Merfolk tribal. I'm gonna keep my mana for opt, so I wouldn't be able to scry with the treasure map right away. I want to get that third land, that Merfolk tribal it is. So again, deafening Clarion is kind of what we're looking for. Okay, shock, but no red mana. Pretty bad here. So we got 2 cards that were not lands, which is really not what we wanted. Missing a land drop when playing control is very bad. Okay, I would have preferred a red, because this really means nothing right now. Fortunately, they haven't really started deploying their full hand yet, but this is gonna get bad very quickly. Okay, finally. Let's tap though. Okay, so that's definitely bad for us. But we do have mana for the settle now, so we're gonna have to take some more damage this turn, but hopefully they're feeling really confident about their next turn. And they'll attack in. Yep. That was probably a mistake on their part. Now I'm gonna get to settle, clear their board, and also shock their Mistbinder. They're thinking. I don't think there's anything in their deck that could protect this, right? Okay, they saved one of their... Okay, so we have a Clarion to back us up too. Take care of this finder first. And I'll have Ionize for whatever they try to play here. So I think this is okay. This guy is not very threatening. And it seems like he's just testing the waters. And I still have my Clarion to clear out anything that he tries to redeploy. So this definitely don't want that. So he was smart to try to bait a counter from me. But, you know, I've played against this deck quite a bit before. And I kind of know all the tools they have, so... do want this for later. And I think I'll just Clarion at this point. I only have 2 cards left in hand. Yep. Pretty bad news for them. I'm gonna keep this in my hand, just to fake having a counterspell. I mean, playing it out really doesn't net me anything. Okay, this becomes less scary now because he needs to draw into a lot of Merfolk. So I'm gonna go ahead and attack. Again, because his hand is very few cards, the risk of this guy getting huge in one turn is very low. And I just want to kind of close out the game as quickly as I can. So that's fine. Okay, that's pretty much game. So I think we're actually very favored in this matchup because after sideboarding we're going to have access to even more sweepers and removal. Okay, so he can become unblockable, but he's going to need quite a few swings, at least 2 swings. So I think I'm just gonna... So I drew a Spell Pierce, which is not great. I'm not gonna be able to ping this guy completely dead. So I'll probably just ping him and just swing in. Actually, I don't think he's gonna have anything to stop this. It's kind of risky in case he does, but... Oh, wow. Okay. That's fine, I guess, because I can just, So if I Spell Pierce, I'll get another ping. Kind of wishing I pinged this guy earlier, but he has enough mana, so probably better just to in his face. I mean, there's an off chance that I'll draw something I can play. But yeah. Okay. So, in hindsight, that was probably too risky of a play on my part. I probably should have kept one guy back. I really was not expecting him to have something like Root Snare main board in a Merfolk tribal deck. But, you know, now the onus is on him to try to finish me off here. Okay, so I have Explosion in hand. So I'm just gonna finish him off. It's quite lucky on our part. And the Clarion to back it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. This is more than enough to finish him off. I'm not sure why he's thinking, to be honest. Alright, so we got a bit lucky there with the top decking the Explosion. So we kind of know what kind of tools he has. I knew that he would have had Sleep. I really didn't expect the Root Snare. We definitely want these. Not sure if I want the bindings. I mean, there's a couple of cards I would want to bind, but I don't want the Spell Pierce. Dive down. Not sure how useful it is. I mean, it could help me block. Can also prevent any sort of shenanigans. Let's see how many cards we can cut before doing those. Kindling Phoenix is good. Syncopate, not so good. Most of their cards are very low casting cost. So maybe get rid of one of the dive downs. One or two. I think the having Lyra also helps us here, just because we got pretty low on our mana count last time. Really debating the dive down here because I don't think they have any access to anything that could kill. I mean, they have some tools in green like Rabbit Bite, but I think probably it's just better to have more answers or threats. So let's try this. So we're likely on the draw here, which puts us at a slight disadvantage against a deck like this, because they're going to be able to deploy their hand first, and the onus is going to be on us to try to respond. And they'll get access to their mana faster than us. If we're on the draw, we can put up open mana faster, which is what we want to do. You know, we'll just be one behind on any sort of instant speed answers. So we'll be one behind on Settle, we'll be one behind on any sort of counter spell. And Deafening Clarion is still fine. We'll still be able to do it after they play out creatures. But those instant speed answers, we're gonna have a slight disadvantage here. So knowing what they're playing, we definitely want to try to get a hand full of sweepers, or ways to kind of dig for sweepers. We don't really have anything to counter in the opening turns. They're probably just gonna play out creatures, and we're not running essence scatters or anything like that. So we probably want to try to mull hard for a Deafening Clarion or a Settle of the Wreckage. But having successfully settled in the first game, the opponent is probably going to be a little more careful when they're swinging in with a developed board like they had last game. So we have the Clarion and enough mana to cast. The Lyra is okay. I mean, if we can get it out on curve, it's going to help us stabilize. Double Niv is not great. I would have rather draw into that later on once we have full control of the board. But just the fact that I have Deafening Clarion and enough mana in my opening hand to guarantee casting it, I think I'm going to keep this hand. So I didn't notice if they completely timed out on that first game. They took a long time to decide whether or not to mulligan. And it looks like they didn't mulligan, so opponent might actually have disconnected, or had something in real life happen and they had to walk away. But they don't have any timeout stored up, so if they start to time out again, they're just gonna auto concede here, which isn't too exciting in terms of the video. So I'm hoping they come back and we can actually play a game of Magic here. So it looks like they're gonna time out. That'll be the second timeout, so I don't know if they concede here or next time. Yeah, so well, a win's a win, so I'll take it.